Your entire second chapter hinges on one decision. You think changing your life is complicated. You think it requires hundreds of decisions, 1,000 steps, a complete overhaul of everything. Quit the job, start the business, figure out your purpose, build the website, get the clients, make the money, transform your marriage, reinvent yourself. It's overwhelming. So you don't start. You stay stuck, analyzing, planning, researching, waiting for the right time, waiting for clarity, waiting for courage. But here's what I've learned after 51 years on this planet. Your entire second chapter, everything you want, everything you're capable of, everything that's possible for you, it all hinges on one decision. Not 100 decisions, one. And once you make that one decision, everything else follows. The how reveals itself. The opportunities show up. The courage comes. The path appears. But till you make that one decision, nothing changes. You stay exactly where you are. Hey, if you haven't come across this channel, welcome. My name is Gavin. Extremely excited you're here. This channel is all about making your second chapter the best chapter of your life. And if that sounds like up your alley, then please, subscribe, like this video. And now back into what I was saying. So here's the question. What's the decision? Stay with me. I'm going to let you know what it's not, though. The decision is not, I'm going to quit my job. That's not the decision. That's an action that comes after the decision. The decision is not, I'm going to start a business, or I'm going to lose 50 pounds, or I'm going to fix my marriage. Those are all outcomes, results, things that happen after you make the real decision. See, most people think the decision is the action, the big move, the dramatic change, but that's not it. The real decision happens internally, quietly, in a single moment. And once you make it, everything on the outside starts to shift. So here it is. The one decision that changes everything. I'm done settling. That's it. I'm done settling. 4 words, one decision. I'm done settling for a job that pays well, but that drains my soul. I'm done settling for 5 when I want to feel alive. I'm done settling for the safe, comfortable cage when I crave freedom. I'm done settling for a future that looks like the past 20 years on repeat. I'm done. That's the decision. Not, I'm going to, do the specific thing, but I'm done accepting this. You see, when you decide you're done settling, everything else becomes clear. The job you need to leave, obvious. The business you need to start, it reveals itself. The changes you need to make, they become non-negotiable. But until you make that one decision, I'm done settling, you'll keep negotiating with yourself. Well, the job, it's not that bad. Maybe I'm just being ungrateful. Other people have it worse. I should just be happy with what I have. You'll keep rationalizing why you should stay stuck. I've been a pro at this. But the moment you decide, truly decide, I'm done settling, all of that noise, it stops because you've drawn a line in the sand. And here's why this one decision changes everything. It creates clarity. When you're done settling, you suddenly see what's negotiable and what's not. The things you've been tolerating, you can't tolerate them anymore. They're awful. The compromises you've been making, you stop making. The excuses you've been telling yourself, they don't work anymore. You see, very clearly, right? And for the first time in years, it creates urgency. When you decide you're done, you can't just sit around waiting every day, staying in the thing you're settling for, or feels like a betrayal of yourself to your soul. So you start moving, taking action, making changes, not because you have the perfect plans, but because staying still, it's no longer an option. It creates courage. And you know what's really interesting? Courage doesn't come before the decision. It comes after. You don't need to feel brave to decide you're done settling. You just need to be honest. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And once you say that, once you really mean it, the courage, to act on that, it's going to show up because you're not trying to convince yourself anymore. You've already decided. It creates momentum. One decision leads to another. One action leads to the next. You decide you're done settling. So you start saying no to things that drain you. You start saying yes to things that energize you. So you start having conversations you've been avoiding. You start building the thing you've been dreaming about. Each step creates the next step, but it all starts with that one decision. And let me tell you what happened when I made this decision. So for years, I knew I was unhappy doing what I've always been doing, like in a sales straight commission job. Years, but I kept rationalizing it. Pays well. I'm good at it. My family depends on me. I just can't just quit. And so I stayed over and over and over, miserable, drained, dying a little bit every day. But I kept settling until a few months ago when something shifted. I didn't plan it. I didn't have a strategy. I just hit a breaking point. Like I thought, I can't do this for another 15 years. I'd rather fail trying to build something I love than succeed at something I'm not passionate about anymore. And in that moment, I decided I'm done settling. That was it. That was the decision. And you know what happened? Within days, ideas started flowing. I saw opportunities I've been blind to. I started building my guide app, my custom guided meditation app with real focus. I launched this YouTube channel. I mapped out a 10-month plan to make this all a reality. And none of that existed before. I made the decision. But once I decided I was done settling, the path revealed itself and continues to do so. I didn't need to have it all figured out. I just needed to decide. So here's my question for you. What have you been settling for? Be honest. Is it the job, the relationship, the lifestyle, the version of yourself you've become? What are you tolerating that's slowly killing? And why haven't you decided you're done? I'll give a crack at why. Because deciding you're done, it's scary. Because once you decide, you have to do something about it. You can't just complain anymore. You can't just hope it gets better. You have to act. And that, it can be terrifying. What if you fail? What if you make the wrong choice? What if you blow up your life and regret it? I totally get it. I feel the same fear every single day. But here's what I know now. The fear of staying stuck is worse than the fear of change. Living the next 30 years settling, that's the real risk. Not trying, that's the real failure. So the decision isn't, will I be brave? The decision is, will I be honest? Can you look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm done settling, and actually mean it? So how do you do this? How do you actually make the decision? It's simple. Not easy, but simple. So step one, get honest about what you're settling for. Write it down, say it out loud. I'm done settling for a job that drains me. I'm settling for a marriage where we're just, roommates. That's not me, by the way. I'm settling for a life that feels small and safe instead of big and meaningful. That is kind of me. Whatever it is, name it. Step two, ask yourself, can I do this for another 20 years? Not should I, not is it smart choice. Can you physically, emotionally, spiritually? Can you keep living like this right now? If the answer is no, then you already know what the decision needs to be. Step three, say it out loud right now. I'm done settling. Say it again. I'm done settling. Feel what happens in your body when you say it. Does it feel like relief, like truth, like a weight lifting? That's your soul finally saying like, yes, finally. Step four, take one action today. You don't need the whole plan. You just need the next step. One conversation, one application, 1 hour working on the thing you've been putting off, one action that proves to yourself, I meant what I said. I'm done settling. Here's what I want you to really grasp. Once you make this decision, you don't need to know how everything's going to work out. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't need all the answers. You just need to trust that the decision was right. And then the next step will reveal itself, and the next, and the next. That's how it works. Not all at once, not with certainty, one step at a time. You're deciding you're done settling. So you start paying attention to what lights you up. So you start saying no to things that don't align with you. So you start building, creating, moving, and 6 months from now, or longer, or sooner, you'll look back and think, how did I get here? And the answer will be, you decided. I'm 51. I'm in the middle of this journey right now. I decided I'm done settling. And I gave myself 10 months to build a life I actually really love waking up to. And I'm documenting the whole thing, the fears, the failures, the small wins. And I'm building a community. I'm kind of right now calling it the second chapter society for people doing the same thing. Empty nesters, midlifers, people who did everything right and they're ready for more. We're not waiting for someday. We're not hoping it gets easier. We decided we're done settling and we're doing something about it. And if that's you, if you're ready to make that one decision that changes everything, comment, decided, and shares a little bit of information. I'll send you the details about the community, but more importantly, I want you to say it out loud right now. I'm done settling. Say it, mean it, and then watch what happens. You don't need 100 decisions. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't need to have it all figured out. That's a lot. You just need one decision. And I'm done set. That's the decision, right? Everything else, follows and flows from there. That courage, the clarity, the path, the life you actually want, it all starts with that. So make it right now. I'm done selling. Your second chapter is waiting. Again, please leave a comment, hit the bell to get my next videos, join the second, chapter society. And I'm so honored and excited to be on this journey with you. I'll see you in the next video. Much love. Bye-bye.